Yep.
Are they all on?
Are they all on? Here.
All good.
Hello,
How about it?
Bueller.
Bueller? Yeah. There you go.
2 seconds for the digital effect to take effect.
You
All
okay
good?
now?
All good?
Yeah.
Coach, you're facing a Miami team that has a lot of experience, a lot of upperclassmen. Yeah, how's that going to affect the flow of the game today?
Well, obviously, it's they're a very talented team that's had great success and have really bought into Coach Larinaga's style. His teams have always been extremely efficient on offense and very physical, tough defensive teams, and that's exactly what Miami is. When you add to that some veterans that have been through a lot of battles in this league already, that's why they're picked in the upper echelon of this league. And early had a tough loss early, but didn't have all their guys, and they've played extremely well since then. Obviously, a big win over Michigan State in the ACC Big Ten Challenge. So you can't have any bad possessions against them, and then defensively, you need to make sure that you're focused every single possession because they are explosive.
I guess for players like Mufon and Pierre, protecting the ball against Larkin's going to be big. He leads the league in steals. He'll be all over them.
Well, I think the big thing for us as a team is always our turnover ratio to our assists, and we have to take care of the ball. As I said, empty possessions in this league get you beat. That doesn't mean you got to make every shot, but you have to have quality possessions. And for us, that means moving the ball, reversing the ball, and getting the ball inside, getting our paint touches, either off dribble penetration or off just throwing the ball into the post.
Coach, you've got to be pretty pleased with the freshman's development to this point. I think they've supplied, 35, 36% of your scoring. But I'm sure at Dayton you saw freshmen who did well, and it was a shock to get to the A-10 game in, game out. Michigan State saw the same thing, Big Ten. There's really no way to prepare them for it except what you do day to day. So what are your thoughts about them as you begin this ACC grind?
Well, the freshmen have given us a huge lift. There's no question about that. But as you head into conference play, you still have to rely on your upperclassmen and those guys who have been through it, not only in their performance and their daily habits, as we always talk about, but also in terms of their education of the young guys. Mufon said it to both, or to all three of the guys, Chris, Marcus, and Robert yesterday. You're not freshmen anymore. You've played enough minutes now. You know what this is about, and it's only going to get tougher. And I think our guys, look up to those guys. They've been through it. They know what it's about. The best thing about the freshmen is they want to learn. They want to get better. They take coaching well. And, there's going to be a lot of it over the next 2 months. Because one of the biggest challenges, you put in all the work not to avoid the challenges and the tough times, because they come in this league, it's a guarantee. You put in that work to get through it, to be able to fight through it. And that's always the biggest challenge. And it's game by game. It's the ebbs and flows that occur in a game, and staying positive and sticking to what we do well. Those guys have put a premium on getting better defensively and getting better on the glass and letting the offense come to them, and I think they've done a good job of that.
They lost Johnson, but they still got Kaji. How important is it for Daniel and the other post players to keep him off the boards?
Well, and you got Gamble, who's a
rebounder.
six-year senior. He's been at Miami for a long, long time, And they got a lot of bodies coming off the bench, guys that are stepping up and playing well. Kaji is one of the premier post players in our league due to the fact that he's a dual threat. He can score on the block. We really struggled to guard him last year. And he can step out, knock down threes, and can put the ball on the floor. So he's a tough coverage, and we're going to have all 4 of our post players will be on him. All 4 are going to have to meet that challenge. And, they're a great offensive rebounding team because they have great size. And what they do is they break you down on defense with a lot of dribble penetration, and that opens up offensive rebounding opportunities. So we have to do a great job of not only rebounding the ball, but what leads to that, and that's guarding the dribble.
You have a guy like Durant Scott who can score the ball. Do you start a freshman on him like Hunter, or do you go with somebody like Reed who has the experience?
I'm not going to go into our game plan specifically, but the way we play, everybody's going to have to guard him. Mufan's going to have to guard him. D. Reed's going to have to guard him. Marcus is going to have to guard him. Chris Bolden's going to have to guard him. Stacy Poole's going to have to guard him. Everybody's going to have to guard him. And so you have to do a great job of keeping him in front. You got to contest his shots. You can't give those guys, with him, Larkin in particular, that have the ball in their hands so much, you can't give those guys anything easy. That's transition baskets, and that's drives to the basket.
Coach, you got through this first part of the season in very good shape. Are you pleased with where you are and kind of heading into conference play, big picture-wise?
Yeah, big picture-wise, I like the progress that we've made. We're a much better team than we were on opening night against Tulane. We've played, some high-quality teams and won some of those games, and lost a couple that we were in as well. The challenge and the difference in this year is we don't have two other high-quality home-and-home non-conference games because the league has gone to 18 league games. And that's a big change. Where last year we played in Alabama. This year we've added a conference game instead of that. And so, we've been tested and we've improved. So I like where we're at right now because it's different than we were yesterday. But as I tell our guys, it's not good enough today and it's not good enough for tomorrow. We got to keep improving.